I'm here to talk about turning zeros into ones and how that's done mathematically or algebraically. You just follow a few simple steps. Step number one, let's see if I can get this up here right. I can't get this up here right. Step number one is where you take 0 plus 0 and set it equal to 0 times 0, and that all equals the null set. And step number two, you have 0 plus the small 0 minus the small 0 equals the quantity 0 times the small 0, the large 0 times the small 0 minus the small 0. And then the third step, we simplify the left-hand side, and that just leaves the large 0 equal to the quantity, the large 0 times the small 0, that quantity less the small 0. And in step 4, we have the large 0 equals the small 0 times the quantity, the large 0 minus 1. And that's where we factored out the small 0 out of the previous quantity above it in step 3. In the next step, we set as a ratio, that's a double dot there, the large 0 in ratio to the small 0, and that is equal to 0 minus 1. Then we have the small 0 in ratio, the large 0 in ratio to the small 0, and that equals, and that's minus the large 0, and that equals minus 1, as we subtracted the large 0 from both sides. And lastly, we have the large 0 minus, as we multiply everything through by -1, we have the large 0 minus the large 0 in proportion to the small 0 with the double dot ratio dot equals +1. Now over here on the right, I've got a line showing a division line instead of the ratio dots, and that's showing division by the small 0. And you might think that division by 0 is not allowed, but it's just something that is undefined. It's not that it's not allowed, it's undefined. And in the axis of the Cartesian plane, the tangent to 0 is 0 degrees y over x, and the tangent to 90 degrees is infinity. And so 0 times infinity equals -1. And the way you get infinity is you have y over x when x equals 0. And they like to tell us it's as x approaches 0, but it's when x is actually 0. So y over 0 is infinity over 0, and that equals infinity. And so we have infinity times 0 equals -1, and we know when you have -1 that two things are, the slopes are multiplied equal -1, that those two things are perpendicular. So multiplication with 0 in the denominator is allowed, and it's just rare that it's accepted in mathematics. So that's how the universe also could have formed from zeros via those operations that I just explained, which are spaces. And if you think of them as spaces, then you have a large space in proportion to a smaller space. You have a large space in proportion to a smaller space, is all the ratio dots mean. So you have to start with a large space plus a small space equals a large space times the small space equals no space at all, the null set, equals 0 equals the null set. So these operations that we're doing are just possibilities that the universe would do to maneuver these spaces around or conceive of them in different ways in relation to each other. So you're talking about the universe having conceptions, having ideas. Well, the universe may have had no energy or may have had some form of schism, some sort of dark energy balancing regular energy, may have had some form of energy, may have had some form of schism between forms of energy or between forms of space or forms of matter. Anyway, it's just a theory, and I hope that explains better my WikiHow.